man is back.
Oh, okay, boys. Oh my gosh, the man got that stuff. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the leopard. Look at that, my God.
This is your boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True Inferno. Back at it with another Call of Duty Black Ops 6 commentator video gameplay for you guys. This is funny. Y'all probably seen the title and y'all probably going, what the fuck? But this is interesting. So I am doing a Call of Duty gameplay talking about Pokemon gameplay. Yeah, talk about two opposites here. And this was not even on the radar, but what happened was early, like on the 22nd, I'm recording this, like, it's like 12:26 in the morning on the 23rd. But like on the 22nd, like literally it hadn't been 24 hours. So we talk about within 12 hours to be exact. I saw an interesting topic. Now, granted, the topic first came up 9 hours prior to when I first saw this, or over 9 hours when I first saw this, but it was expanded on and became an actual debate. So, what am I talking about? So, has it been a week? No, it hasn't even been a week yet. It has not been a week yet. No, it's about to be. No, it is. It is now. I remember it's Thursday because the game came out Thursday. So, it's literally been 1 week. It's been 1 week since the new Pokemon game came out, Pokemon Legends ZA, and I'm gonna be real, it's the talk of the town. Like, it really is. So if you are a Pokemon fan, if you are a member of the Pokemon community as a whole, you're playing this game. You're playing this game. Now, here's where things get interesting, though. Remember what I just said, literally like 20 seconds ago. If you are a Pokemon fan, you're playing this game. Which begs the question, what about everybody else? What about the casual gamers? So let's just get straight into it. So somebody by the name of Velocity, this is on Twitter, somebody by the name of Velocity VGC said, and I quote, Legends ZA, or obviously you mean Pokemon Legends ZA, but obviously Legends ZA is way more fun than Arceus, which is true, but please is in all caps, by the way, keep the main gen games turn-based. So for those of you who don't know, when it comes to the Pokemon main series games, like for example, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet, Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon, Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, and you get the drill. Their combat system is basically like a RPG, where you get a turn to attack or do whatever, heal, whatever. Your opponent get a turn to attack, heal, do whatever, and y'all go back and forth until we get a victor. Now, here's where things get interesting. While at an RPG-like atmosphere, like with any other RPG game or JRPG, this style of combat is fine. It's cool. Think Final Fantasy to a degree. Not necessarily the newer one to a degree, I guess, but like, especially the older Final Fantasy games, yeah, it's turn-based. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but this is Pokemon we're talking about here. And I necessarily wouldn't call Pokemon an RPG game. I could be mistaken on that, I don't know, but I necessarily would not call it an RPG. I don't know what you would call it. Outside from, I guess you could call it like a category of itself. It's a Pokemon game, I guess. I could be mistaken on that. But the thing about it is this. Getting back to the post. He said, like, basically Grant, aka Velocity VGC, saying, yo, keep the main series games turn-based. As in, I get a turn to do whatever, attack, heal. You get a turn to attack, heal, whatever, and go back and forth like that. Well, a Pokemon content creator by the name of Philly Beats You, retweeted that and came up with a response saying, disagree. Pokemon games feel extremely fast now, like it's supposed to be. Pokemon Champions, which is a new game, he spelled champions wrong, I just realized that. But Pokemon Champions, which is a new game that is coming out, I believe, next year, is where the turn base is at. Let me play my Pokemon Unite in the streets of Luminos City and Gen 10. And that sparked a huge debate because basically the bottom line is this. There are some people who want the main series games to maintain the turn-based system of I get a turn to attack, you get a turn to attack, and then go back and forth like that. Whereas there's others like Philly Beast who's saying, no, it should be like how it is in Pokemon Legends ZA, where both sides can launch attacks whenever they want outside from the cooldown of that move. But like they got 4 moves that you can use, so they can use 1 move and then immediately use the second move and then immediately use the 3rd move and then immediately use the 4th move and then go back like that, you know, if they want to. But they roaming around, like you, the character, and your Pokemon are moving around, trying to dodge attacks and launching attacks in certain points in time, and there's no turn base. And here's the thing, here's the thing. This style of combat is the absolute closest thing we got in comparable to the Pokemon anime. Keep that in mind. So if you've seen I'm like, come on now. Unless you were born in the 50s, 60s, maybe 70s, you've seen the anime. You've seen the Pokemon anime at some point in some capacity. You've seen the anime. So, you know, they doing all these types of attacks all over the place. It's not turn-based. So the main series games have not been relatable to the anime. But yet we got Legends ZA, which is not a main series game. It is. So now we like, yo, this is what we, you know, this some people, and this especially me, this is what we wanted. A Pokemon game that is relatable to the anime in terms of the combat system. However, this post by Philly Beast got a lot of response, and there's some people who said, no, keep it as is in terms of the main series game, keep it turn-based. There's other people saying like, yo, nah, I don't agree with that. It needs to change. It needs to adapt the Legends ZA combat system. And, you know, that's been going back and forth regarding how this is done. And it's an interesting topic, so I decided to jump into it. So, what do I think about this? So, here's the thing. I firmly believe that the main series game should adapt to this combat system. And here's why. Number one, and really the most important reason, it will make the main series games highly relatable to the anime. Because the anime is based off of the main series games. The anime isn't based off of Legends ZA. The anime isn't based off of Legends Arceus. The anime isn't based off of Detective Pikachu or the Pokemon Rangers or any other side Pokemon game. The anime is related to the main series games. So it's kind of hard to make the anime relatable to these main series games when the main series games don't have the same combat system. It's turn-based. And I'm like, the anime ain't turn-based. So what, like, you know, they needed to fix that. And I've been saying that for years. So that's number one. Number two, this is directed towards the casual gamers. So let me be real with you real quick. Pokemon games like Red and Blue and Yellow, and in recent memory, like I believe Sword and Shield, are like the highest selling games ever. They're the highest selling games ever. And I'm like, well, we're talking about Pokemon, the biggest franchise in the world, in pretty much in all the video games. Like there is no community bigger or more popular than Pokemon. So naturally, you're going to get a bunch of people playing the Pokemon games, the Pokemon main series games, because they got the biggest community, and it's not even close. Like, there's no other franchise. It could be Super Mario. It could be Sonic. It could be Zelda. It could be Donkey Bitch Ass. It could be Crash Bandicoot. It could be Mega Man. It could be Bomberman. It could be Street Fighter. It could be Mortal Kombat. It could be Killer Instinct. It could be Tekken. It doesn't matter. Assassin's Creed. It could even be Call of fucking Duty. It doesn't matter. There is no other video game franchise out there, past or present, that is bigger than Pokemon. None. Nada. Zero. Zilch. So naturally, the game that would be selling the most in history will be a Pokemon game. So yeah, there's that. So while you got a lot of people who are fans of Pokemon who would play the Pokemon main series games no matter what, myself included. But now we got to look at, okay, what about the casual gamers? Are they fucking with Pokemon like we are? And the answer is no. The answer is no, which is another reason why they need to switch it up. Because what are the casual gamers saying about Pokemon? Like, if you go to, like, I remember this was a conversation going back to the Game Illuminati podcast. And I don't remember which game they were talking about. I think they were talking about Scarlet and Violet or Legends Arceus, which is, again, Legends Arceus is not a main series game. But I believe they were talking about Scarlet and Violet. So this was either before the game about to come out or after the game came out. And what was being said about that game? Despite the fact that they added crystallization, just like Sword and Shield, the main series game that came out prior, added Gigantamax and Dynamaxing and stuff like that, the main core, and then they made it like open world, which is like, you know, the first time they've done that ever in any Pokemon main series game. So they did it first in Sword and Shield, and they continued that with Scarlet and Violet. The main core of the game is turn-based combat. You're going around getting gym badges. You're dealing with Team Rocket, whoever that may be. You're going against the Elite Four in order for you to be the champion. And that's it. It's been the same old since the first ever Pokemon main series game came out, which is, in Japan, I believe it's red and green. And in America, it's red and blue. It's been like that since then. And they use that same formula for years. And which lead me to say, yo, that combat system is not relatable to the anime. It really ain't. And that's why a lot of these casual gamers who are not fans of Pokemon like that, who are not in the Pokemon community like that, are like, yo, if y'all can make the combat system more like the anime, I might fuck with this. Like, yeah, they have said that. But because they see through the bullshit, aka Dynamaxing, Gigantamaxing, and crystallization, they see through that. That's because those are really gimmicks. Those are really gimmicks. They saw through the gimmicks and said, what's the main core of the game? The same old crap. So no, I'm not fucking with Pokemon. Or they would say, I'm done messing with Pokemon because it's the same old, same old. And that's why if they would have changed the combat system for the main series games and make it more like the anime, now these cats are like, oh, wait a minute. It's like the anime now? Like, yo, I can be like Ash Ketchum? Oh, bet. I'm going to try this out. I'm going to play it. And it's like, again, based on somebody who been playing ZA, I played the demo that Worlds, and I got the game and been playing it. Yo, the combat system, phenomenal. It is phenomenal for Legends ZA. Which brings us to another issue with the main series games. The main series games are the one all be all of Pokemon games. It's not Detective Pikachu. It's not the Pokemon Ranger games. It's not Gales of Darkness, even though I'm hearing that game is good. But to the casual gamer, they not fucking with that. They don't even mess with that. They might not even heard about that. And there's other great Pokemon games like Pokemon Unite to a degree. There's Pokemon Go, which is my bread and butter. There's Legends, Arceus, and Legends ZA. And let me be clear. Of all the Pokemon games that came out on the Switch and Switch 2, Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Legends ZA are the two best Pokemon games they drop on the systems, on the Switch and Switch 2. Because Legends Arceus was on the Switch, and then Legends ZA is on the Switch and on the Switch 2. So that's why I say that. Not to mention, what is it? Scarlet and Violet started on the Switch, but then you can play it on the Switch 2, and they made improvements on the Switch 2. And then with Sword and Shield, that was on the Switch, and then you can play on the Switch 2 as well. But this, you can probably play Legends Arceus on the Switch 2. But that still doesn't change the fact that Legends Arceus and Legends ZA are the best two Pokemon games to ever be released on the Switch family of consoles in the Switch 2. And in fact, I have gone far to say, ever since I personally played the demo to the point where I actually got the game, if this game would have came out on any other year except this year, it would have been a Game of the Year nominee. That's how much I enjoyed this game. Like any other year, not this year. There's no way. Hell no. Not with all these games that came out this year. No. Just about any other year outside of this year, this game would have been a Game of the Year nominee. It wouldn't win it. let's be clear. It would not win Game of the Year, but any other year, it would have been nominated. It would have been nominated for Game of the Year. And which brings us to another point. How many Pokemon main series games in the past have been nominated for Game of the Year? None. In terms of like well-known organizations like the Game Awards or anything like that, none. Which means there have been no Pokemon main series game that actually won Game of the Year. So what does that mean? That means that the Pokemon games are more geared towards the fan base and not towards everybody, which means the fan base and casual gamers. So, which means another reason they're missing out on money. Like obviously Pokemon, let's be real, Pokemon's about getting the money. That Pokemon company, they're about getting that money. And yeah, it's a business. I understand that. You gotta get your money, because I want money too. Let's be honest, we all want money. Don't be stupid. Don't be a hypocrite. You want money too. So let's be real on that front. But at the same time, they are missing out on so much money over the years because of that turn-based system. And while the Pokemon community, the fan base will accept it no matter what because it's Pokemon. Of course they're going to accept it. Of course they're going to mess with it because it's a Pokemon game. So naturally, they're going to ride with it. But the casual gamers, it's like, bro, it's the same old bullshit. I'm not doing this again. That's how they feeling. And if you were to like make changes, serious changes to the core, the makeup of Pokemon and say, okay, that turn-based system, we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to adapt the combat that is more relatable to the anime. Now it's like, cats gonna be like, oh snap, I could be like Ash Ketchum and Brock and Misty. Oh, bet. Yeah, I'm playing this. And they would get more bread. They would get more bread. Because like I said, like the cats who complain about no, keep the main series game at turn-based, they would still play it. Let's be honest. It's Pokemon. You're in the Pokemon community. You're a Pokemon fan. So whether you are a fan of the turn-based system or not, if they were to make changes to the main series game with Gen 10 and wherever else, you're going to play the game. You're going to get the game. You're going to play the game. Be real with yourselves. Come on now. Come on. So there's that. And I'm trying to think of some other reasons, right? And I did a whole post of this on Twitter about this. But the thing about it is, oh, here's another reason. It's been 30, again, the core game has been remaining the same for like 30 years. Because remember, this joint came out in what? The mid and late 90s. So it's been 30 years pretty much. And yeah. So, and then which brings us to another point where I talk about the casual gamers, they're not messing with this or whatever. How you gonna bring in a new audience 20 plus years from now? Like, yeah. As of right now, they have nothing to worry about because, again, when you're the biggest video game franchise in the world, you're going to get that money because, again, whatever main series game you put out, your fan base is going to get that money. But when that fan base dies out 20 plus years from now, what's going to be the outlook of the Pokemon main series games then? Like, you know, that's the question right there. That's the question. I could potentially see the fan base going down a bit 20 plus years from now. So, I mean, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. And one argument I've seen is, yo, Legends should keep elements that separate itself from the main series games. And they was like, yo, Legends have this different battle system. And I'm like, this Legends game do, but Legends Arceus didn't. Legends Arceus was turn-based. Legends Arceus was turn-based. The only difference that Legends have, both Legend games that is, so Legends Arceus and Legends EA, the differences that both those games have in comparison to the main series games is that your character can actually die. Like the Pokemon can literally attack you. Like in the main series game, they're not attacking you, they're attacking your Pokemon. And if you're out of Pokemon, you just back off and you lose money in the process. But in the Legends games, the Pokemon are attacking you until you die. So that's one difference. And the second difference is the story's different. Because remember what I said about the main series games. You're traveling all around to get gym badges. You're dealing with Team Rocket. You got to go through the Elite Four in order for you to be the champion. That's the story. From red, blue, and green all the way up to Scarlet and Violet. That's not the case in Legends Arceus. That's not the case in Legends EA. They got unique stories. So they got unique stories and your character can actually die. Those are the only two differences. I'm like, yo, that's fine. Keep them like that. But that combat system, yeah, the main series games going forward can adapt that combat system from Legends ZA, which brings up another point, another reason why they need to change the combat system. Who remember Palworld? When Palworld first came out, a lot of Pokemon fans was looking at that game, saw what all it can do, and look at the Pokemon company and say, yo, these motherfuckers came out with a better Pokemon game than y'all ever did. Like, yo, look what they doing. You see their combat system outside of the guns and the weapons? You see their combat system? That's more relatable to the Pokemon anime than any Pokemon main series game that came out prior. So now everybody at that time was looking at Palworld and was like, oh, snaps. And then they look at the Pokemon company like, yo, y'all might be in trouble. Even though, like, in the long run, no. But we look at them like, yo, how is it that this no-name video game company came out with a better combat system for Pokemon than the actual Pokemon company? We were looking at them like that. So that's another reason. So the bottom line is this. Me, personally, if they come out with a main series game, and, you know, obviously Gen 10 is the next one, assuming that they're going to pull the trigger on Gen 10. At some point in time, in my opinion, they will. I haven't heard anything that says otherwise, but in my honest opinion, I think they will pull the trigger on Gen 10 at some point. So whenever Gen 10 drops, whether they have the same old turn-based combat system or not, I'm still going to get Gen 10. And pretty much everybody who is in the Pokemon community that play the main series games are going to get the game. And which brings me to another point. Not everybody in the Pokemon community play the main series games. They don't. Like, I know cats who first introduction to Pokemon was Pokemon Go. I'm not joking. They say I met cats in person who said this. But getting back to the point, if they were to keep the turn-based combat system for the main series games at this point going forward, I'm going to still play the games. It's still going to sell. It's not going to win Game of the Year, but it's still going to sell. And the casual gamers are still going to clown it. They still going to dog it, be like, yo, it's the same old bullshit we began all this time. They just added another new gimmick to try to say, oh, it's different. Look what we doing here. But the core gameplay will remain the same. Get gym badges. Deal with Team Rocket, whoever it is. Deal with the Elite Four in order for you to be a champion. That's it. That's it. That's the core gameplay of the Pokemon main series games. Now, if they were to change one part of that, which would be the combat system, and adapt it to make it look like it's more relatable to the anime, aka Pokemon Legends ZA, now, again, well, first of all, I would definitely get it. I would definitely get it. That's number one. But again, let's be honest here. You're going to get it too. You're going to get it too. Let's be honest here. You're going to get it too, whether you want the turn-based system to remain or not. You're going to get the game as well. So, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. And, yeah. So, that's my thoughts on that situation. Let me know what you think about that. Should the main series Pokemon games adapt the same combat system that Legends ZA have, where it's more relatable to the Pokemon anime, where you can run around, your Pokemon can run around and do all types of attacks whenever they want outside of the cooldown for that one specific move, wherever the case may be? Or do you want it to keep the turn-based system where I get a turn to attack, you get a turn to attack, and we go back and forth until a winner is determined? So let me know in the comment section below which one you prefer, and I'm going to call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know this is boy New J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.